Hello there, this is Therese with Polkadots. I'm here with the class for Crafters Classroom in January. We are making 3 beautiful Valentine cards. Your kit includes the butterfly heart die by Penny Black. And I will give everybody a couple minutes to jump in. Some things that you'll need not included in your kit is adhesive, whatever flavor you like. I tend to go with two-sided tape, but some of these pieces are a little bit smaller, so you might want some liquid glue. Hello there. And we're not doing any stamping in class, but your kit does include this stamp set by Penny Black, so I'll let you use that at your discretion. So everything else, this piece here is already stamped for you in your kit. So your kit does include this beautiful heart butterfly die and this stamp set. So what you'll need a die cutting machine. The butterflies are already cut out for you that we're using as little embellishments here, but you'll need to cut out the die heart 3 times. So if you have all those things nearby, we'll get started. Let's start with this card first. You also have a color copy of all 3 cards in your kit, so you can use that. Feel free to kind of change things up if that's your vibe. That doesn't bother me at all. So your first card kit includes all the little butterflies you'll need here, and then the insides of the card. We'll set the envelope off to the side. We're going to fold our base card. Now, I know I say this every single time, but just in case you're new, we always fold it. It's already embossed for you, so fold it the opposite way that you want the bump to be on the inside of the card. And that gives you a nice edge here that doesn't, the fibers are stretched so it doesn't crack on the spine. So that's our base card. We'll set that off to the side. And then we're going to take our purple piece here and use our beautiful heart butterfly die. And we're going to just cut that out. I'm off camera for this. So obviously it doesn't matter where on that purple piece it goes, as long as you get the die done. And then all right, Bonnie should be here soon. Okay. So this is our piece that we're looking at here, and I'm just going to pop up some of these butterflies just to give them a little bit of dimension. And we have nothing behind this one, so it's just going to be the white. All right. All right, so if you're just joining me, welcome. You got your kit. I actually have a couple extra of these kits, so if you know anybody that might be interested, I still have a couple little class kits left. So I'm just trying to pop up some of these butterflies just to give it a little dimension here. And I'm going to go ahead and attach that directly to the center. I'm going to lay it out first. There's one little butterfly here, the white one, up in that top right corner that I'm going to put down first because my purple heart's going to go over that one. So all your little pieces are in your little baggie here, including the 3 pearls. We're going to use those on the yellow butterflies. And my kit doesn't have all the yellow ones. All right, so we will improvise. Okay, so let's go and attach this white butterfly It's the smaller of the two. I'm gonna kind of just put this where I think I want it and then attach this one. So I'm just gonna use some liquid glue down here on that guy. So kind of place it about like that. And then I can attach my purple heart. Again, you're going to want to kind of put your adhesive where their butterflies are not, just so that they can kind of pop up. So you don't want to glue them down necessarily. So make them all, give them some dimension here. You kind of have to crease them kind of hard too to make them stay. Okay. Oops. So I'm off camera for that too. Oh, here's my other little butterflies. So you should have three yellow ones, one of each size. So I'm just going to go apply liquid glue where on the back side, probably mostly around the edges, and places where the butterflies are not, because you want to keep them so that you can have them open up. All right. I got my adhesive on the back side. Just going to attach this one then pretty much center here, center top to bottom and left to right. All right. And I got some of my little wings are popped up here. So cute. Okay, I now have another white one, a white butterfly down here in the left corner. I'm gonna attach that. Again, if you want to kind of crease it, fold it in half a little bit, and then you can just use a little adhesive right in the middle. That way the wings can stick up a little bit. So it's not necessarily flat, 100%. And I'm just going to set that one there. It's a little bit of an angle, not much. Okay, then I have 3 yellow butterflies, one of each size. I'm just going to place those, the bigger one off to the left and then the other 2 off to the right-hand side. Again, just some liquid glue for that. And then we'll be putting a pearl in the center. Sometimes having tweezers is nice for these little pieces, if you have one. If not, sometimes I just use the tip of my scissors just to kind of snag it a little bit. And then I'm going to put this one here. I'm actually going to go right under this little wing. Gives it a little more detail to the die. And then the other 2, I'm just going to go up here. Again, I can sneak this one under one of the wings. If yours didn't turn out that way, you don't have to. Just depends a little bit on how your die cut. And I'll put that other one right there. On the right-hand side, you should have 3 little pearls in your little baggie I'm trying to pick up. So then each one, whoops, you'll put 1 in the center of each of those yellow butterflies. Sometimes it's easier if you can just grab all 3 right away. That way you don't have to try to work with a single one. They're already sticky, so you can just snip them apart. It sticks to the tip of my scissors, and I can just place it easily like that. I'm going to scoot in a little closer. Okay. And then my second one here just goes in the middle. My last one is going to go here. Okay. So cute. Love it. And I love this die. It's so cute. The butterfly die, if you're interested, is available online. It comes as a set. It comes with this wreath, and then the butterflies are in there too. So that's available online if you're interested in that. Also, again, I have extra class kits of this one. So if you know of anyone that would be interested, you can still get one. All right, we finished our first card. We're going to move on to the second card, which is going to be this one. Again, you should have color copies of all 3 cards in your kit. And we'll get started on this one. Sorry, I didn't turn the lights on in here. That Bonnie's supposed to be here at 10, so.
I'm not worried.
Okay, all right. Okay, so this card, you're going to take your pieces out of your little kit here, set the envelope off to the side, and then again we're going to fold that base card. I know I say it every time, but fold it for the bump is to the inside. Okay, it's the opposite way that you want to, but that way the fibers are stretched when it's scored, and then that way you don't get that cracking on your base card. So we're going to set that base card off to the side. Our next step here is to take our beautiful heart butterfly die that's in your kit, and we're going to cut out the yellow heart. So again, it doesn't matter where on here you go. If you want to be resourceful, you can center it, and then you can use the cutout piece for something else. Like this was our first card, so if you centered it on there, you could use it on a different project. Okay, so keeping that in mind, if you want to center it right there, and then go ahead and cut that out. I'm off camera for that right now. So this is not a brand new die by Penny Black, but I love it so much. It's so versatile, and it's so easy to use. And you know, a lot of dies, sometimes there's so much detail and mucking around that this is so beautiful, and it does not take much at all. So again, I'm just going to kind of pop open some of these butterflies just to give it a little detail and dimension. And again, if you want to use the opposite that you cut out, you can use that on a different project. Okay, so we're going to attach this one. I'm going to go a little off to the left-hand side because I want to leave room for the ribbon that's over here on the right-hand side. So we're going to use some liquid glue. Make sure you put it on the back side where the butterflies are not, so that you don't glue the butterflies down necessarily. I want to kind of pop those open, and that way we have a little kind of fun dimension going on here. Okay, so now I got some of those popped up. Hi, Bonnie. And then I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back side where the butterflies are not. And try to get most of it around the perimeter if you can. It's kind of tight quarters there, but all right. Okay, and then we're going to leave a little bit of room on that right-hand side for that ribbon. Okay, so I'm going to attach it to that turquoise, close to that left-hand side. And, okay. And then you should have that little silver silky ribbon in your kit with the card, and then we're going to tie that off on the right hand side. I'm not doing a bow, so I'm just going to do a knot. I'm not a bow person, so therefore I do a knot. I don't know that you even have enough to do a bow, but you might be able to. Now here's the thing. You can tie that knot anywhere on here, right? And then we can simply move it if it's not in the exact spot that we want it. So I have my knot. I'm going to trim off the excess here. I don't need all that. And then if it's not exactly where you want it, you can like just slide it around. So maybe you want it up top here, right? Not where I have it down below. This is a nice little spot for a little saying if you want, or you can just slide it on down to the bottom. I did it down here just because there's room, but if you want to stamp something on the front, that would be a better option. Okay, and then we can attach this turquoise piece to the silver background piece that you have. And that I'm going to use two-sided tape. You can use whatever you want, like liquid glue is still fine. But you can use whatever you like. And then I'm going to attach, again, I'm centering this left to right, top to bottom, just so the same margins all the way around. Beautiful. All right, and then that gets attached to your base card. This one. Okay. And this is probably one of my favorite classes. I think I love it so much because the die is so beautiful and it's so easy. Like I said before, some dies are just, they're so intricate that sometimes it's just hard to work with them and the little tiny pieces. So just centering this again on the base card and voila. Beautiful. Love it. Again, you should have color copies of the 3 cards in your kit. We're on to the last card, which is this one. And again, you should have 2 pieces that are byproducts of the die that you can definitely use on a different project. Okay? All right, last, any questions? Bonnie's here with me now, so she can look at, see if there's any questions, but I don't see any. Okay, this is my last card kit. So I'm gonna just set the envelope off to the side. These are the fun little things in our baggie. This is a stamp set, stamp, which is also available on the website if you want this one. It comes with a few different, it's a border. So it has a few. Bonnie, can you grab that one for me?
Judy.
Yeah, it's hanging. It's this one. It's the borders, penny black. Hot, 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 hot. Straight ahead. Up, up. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So if you're interested, this is the stamp that I used to stamp up in this top part there. So that's available on the website if you're interested in that. Okay, so it's already done for you, so you can thank Heather for doing that because she does a marvelous job on all that. Okay, again, we're going to fold our base card. The bump goes to the inside. It's already scored, so the fibers are stretched so we don't get that cracking. Okay. Then we're just going to go ahead and attach that stamped piece at the very top of the white piece that's in your kit. All right, so I'm going to just use some adhesive to attach that at the top. And all right. Oh, wait a second. We're not going to do that. That's right. Okay, so we're actually going to this is the white that you're going to die cut the heart out of. This is going to get attached to your base card. So we're going to set that off to the side. We're going to die cut our heart, butterfly heart, out of the white. Again, if you center it on there, you can use the outline for some other project, okay? So I'm going to just cut that out. Okay, so then you can use this part for a different project. And then I'm just going to take my die cut here. And I'm actually going to attach it to that red glitter paper. I'm going to do a little something different. So we're going to tear this piece first. Now, you can kind of see this is the whole base card amount. So I'm just going to tear a little bit from that left all the way to the right. And if I tear away from me, it's not going to leave a white edge. So if I tear toward me, it would leave a white edge. I'll show you what I mean. So do you see that white? If I tear toward me, but I don't necessarily want the white edge, so I'm going to tear away from me, and I'm just going to kind of go straight across. It doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm just going to make that little tear, and then I'm going to attach my white heart butterfly, and I'm going to leave some room down here for those 3 black butterflies. All right, so again, liquid adhesive, not on the butterfly parts. So mostly around the perimeter, but I don't want to necessarily glue down the butterflies. I'm just going to attach that here, leaving maybe closer toward the top of where you tore your paper, so you have a little room at the bottom for the black butterflies. All right, then I'm going to attach those black butterflies. The middle one is pop dotted, so you should have a little foam square in there. You might have to cut that in half. So that you have enough, or you don't, the foam square is probably too big for the butterfly, so if you cut it in half, it should fit a little better. Let's go ahead and attach our big one first. I'm going to use some liquid glue for that. That's going to go on the farthest bottom right. down in here. Put it on a little angle. Super cute. So this is very traditional Valentine colors with the red and white, black. The first two cards were a little non-traditional. All right, but they're very springy, so beautiful colors. These were the first two. All right, and then the smallest of the butterflies, again, liquid glue, going on a little angle above that bigger one. All right, so then I'm just gonna kind of plop that one here. You can even overlay that white depending on where you made your tear. And then I'm gonna pop dot that last one, the medium size. So I'm just gonna cut my pop dot or my foam square in half so that it fits a little better behind that butterfly. Oops. So I'm just gonna cut it in half. And then you can use the half for something else. And all right. Then you have some, I'm gonna kind of just put this one, oop, my glue is still wet. Put this one here. And then you have some pearls. You should have 6 pearls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm gonna take the whole strip and cut off, or they're all on an adhesive strip, so if you remove all of them at the same time, it's just a little easier to work with. So now I have a strip of the 6, and I'm just gonna cut off a single one for my little guy here. And then 2 for the middle size butterfly. And then the 3 remaining ones go on the bigger butterfly. All right. So now I'm gonna attach, I already have adhesive on this one, so I'm gonna attach this behind here, but I want it to be slightly smaller than my base card. So you're gonna grab your base card and just kind of measure so that you have some margins all the way around, and then attach that to the back of the red. So I'm just gonna take some 2-sided tape on the back of that red and then attach my stamped portion. I'm gonna just make sure it's just slightly smaller than my base card, so it's got a nice margin around it, so I'm pretty good with that. All right, and then to give it just a little bit of, without having another layer, I'm gonna use some black ink, and I'm just gonna drag it around the edges. This just gives it a little more dimension without adding another layer of paper. So we're just using a little bit ink. Oop. And then I'm going to put adhesive on the back of the whole thing and then attach that to my base card, which is already folded. All right. And so that goes on like that. And we have our 3rd card done. Look at that, so cute. And then you can pop up these wings of these butterflies. I forgot to do that before I put this one down, but take something pointy, a paper piercer or tip of scissors, and you can kind of just work those wings up just to give you a little more dimension. And we just made 3 cards in 30 minutes. How about that? So again, this kit comes with everything you need to make these 3 cards. It includes the die part with the butterflies. The butterflies that we used are available as a separate die. They're not necessary, but if you want to do that, it's available on the website as well, polkadotsandmore.com. I already posted my February class, so I hope to see you in February. Bye.